Good morning, back to normal. Winter storms shut down a stretch of highway in California. This morning, how drivers were able to get back to normal.
This as road conditions plague I-69. Potholes have portions of the interstate closed. Coming up, the warning from the Transportation Department.
And rain turns to snow after we had temperatures upwards of 60 degrees. Bitter cold temps and snow make their way back in. We'll break it down for you. Get the coffee ready and open up those eyes. You're waking up with Cardinal Weather.
From Ball State Unified Media, you're waking up with Cardinal Weather, live from the Ball State Weather Center.
Good Friday morning to you. You're waking up with Cardinal Weather. I'm Tanner Holbrook.
And I'm Tyler Brummett. Happy to be with you here this morning. And Tanner, it's cold out there.
It is a cold one, 17 degrees right now.
Yeah.
We want to get right to Gabe to talk about those cold temperatures and the snow that's coming in this weekend.
Ooh.
Good morning, Gabe.
Yeah, good morning, guys. It is cold out there. You're definitely right about that. A shock to the system this morning, though we're still dealing with some of the issues of the rain the past few days. You do have a flood warning in effect for most of the viewing area and along the Mississinawa River here in Delaware County. That extends into 11 a.m. this morning, so we still may be dealing with some flooded roadways and those kinds of issues. But we're back to winter when it comes to the radar. You see some leftover snow bands from this past system still making their way through the area. Nothing really to worry about with this, no travel impacts, just some flakes maybe flying around as you make your way through your morning. 16 degrees at the moment, west winds at around 16 miles per hour, causing it to feel like 1 degree, so we're back close to zero in those feels-like temperatures. And that's all due to the wind we have out there this morning. 16 in Muncie, up to 22 miles per hour in Fort Wayne, and near 25 in Indianapolis, causing those temperatures to feel pretty chilly out there across the area. It feels like -1 in Anderson and -6 in Marion, and those temperatures don't improve too much as we go throughout the day today. Staying in the teens up to noon. We make our high close to 20 by later in this afternoon, and decreasing clouds through the day today, so at least we'll get the sunshine.
All right, Gabe, thank you. New this morning, portions of I-69 are closed due to large potholes.
Yeah, they're between mile markers 220 and 234, stretching from Anderson to Daleville, causing frustration for many drivers.
I've seen all the chuck holes, but I've been able to avoid them. I've seen a couple cars pulled over.
A smooth morning commute. Oh, there we go. You hit every single one.
Yep.
Well, not today. Drivers across east central Indiana dealing with potholes. This resulting in the north and southbound lanes of I-69 closing down this afternoon. Many drivers hit potholes, resulting in flat tires. While we were out today, we saw many motorists stranded on the sides of the road. One man we caught up with, Guy Judson, says that overall he feels the state did a good job responding.
Of course, with the weather, it's been a little difficult to respond quickly, so I think overall, though, the state's been pretty good to respond in the past.
Crews responded to the pothole mess this afternoon. Traffic at a crawl backed up for 2 miles. NDOT crews do want everyone to remember to take it slow. They even set a restriction saying that speeds should not exceed 45 miles per hour. The restriction will be in place until 10 a.m. on Sunday. As for fixing the problem, Judson says that more work throughout the year would definitely help.
Overall maintenance throughout the entire year, not just wait one time a year. The barricades going throughout the entire state just gets overwhelming. So I think if we just did maintenance all year round, it'd help.
Yeah, it was definitely a rough one yesterday. Now, Judson told us he was coming back from Fort Wayne and that his drive actually wasn't that bad. As for NDOT, the crews did work throughout the night last night and are working today to fix the issues. The good news, though, the crews do expect the work to be done in order to make way for a smooth Monday morning commute.
And to report potholes, we should tell you can go to NDOT's website, ndotforyou.com. Roadway issues as well for residents in California. A stretch of Interstate 80 is back open in both directions in California's Sierra Nevada. It was closed all day on Monday and reopened on Tuesday morning. Even though it is open, officials say the speed limit is down to 30 miles per hour, and the National Weather Service issued a winter storm warning in north central California for most of the day on Tuesday.
Well, if you're thinking about going to the beach, you might want to think again. Heavy rain in Southern California means tons of trash ending up on the coastline. That's because storm drains along the San Gabriel River carry garbage to the beach, including diapers, syringes, and furniture. That's gross. This is Seal Beach after several days of rain. Locals say it happens every time that it rains. They find everything from clothes to bags, toys, and even recently, a couch. Some people don't even go into the water anymore because it's so bad. Local volunteer groups are trying to help clean up the trash. One event is set for Seal Beach tomorrow.
While we have been having some nice weather here in Muncie this past week, Utah has been doing the exact opposite. On Tuesday, Utah got hammered by a winter storm. Areas around Salt Lake City saw anywhere between 12 and 18 inches of snowfall. That's incredible. In less than 48 hours after the storm's arrival, 313 crashes were reported on the roadways. Trouble on the roadways.
And just ahead, we're introducing a new segment aimed at health. This week, we're focusing on ways to prevent back problems. You definitely don't want to miss it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's all after your weather now.
Welcome back. 8:07 your time right now. You're taking a live look right now at the most beautiful light in history. That is, of course, the scramble light. And speaking of history, let's go ahead now and get to your weather history. Great transition there. In 2013, a nor'easter caused over 24 inches of snow to fall in Boston. Portland, Maine set a snowfall record just short of 32 inches. In addition to the snow, wind gusts over 100 miles per hour were reported in Nova Scotia and over 80 miles per hour off the coast of both Maine and Massachusetts.
A teacher in Montana is giving new meaning to the phrase going outside for class. Erin Lynch combined skiing with academics after recess for her second graders, and her science class investigated whether fat, fur, or feathers kept animals more warm in the cold, and patterns of skis were transformed into a geometry lesson.
That cross-body repetitive motion helps wire their brain from one side to the other, and when you're reading, you're crossing that middle line, and it helps with tracking, it helps with putting those letter sounds together, it helps across the board.
In addition to learning, the skiing also allowed kids to get some exercise.
And while most of us decided to stay inside last week during the polar vortex, some people decided to try the boiling water challenge. The challenge goes like this: throwing boiling water into the air and watching it turn into vapor from the bitter cold. Unfortunately, though, for 8 people, this challenge went terribly wrong. The Loyola University Medical Center in Maywood, Illinois reported treating 8 victims in their burn unit. After the challenge went awry, victims ranged from ages 3 to 53 years old. The challenge came after temperatures in the Chicago area dropped well below zero, with wind chills as cold as 55 degrees below zero. Now, doctors at the burn unit advise against doing the challenge, explaining that there is no safe way to do it.
Also this morning, a new study has come out saying that 2018 was the 4th warmest year on record. Now, researchers from NASA and NOAA looked at readings from stations around the world, and they noted Earth's average temperature was 1.5 degrees warmer compared to the 20th century. They say this is more evident of global warming already having a major impact on Earth. And for context, Earth's temperature has risen nearly 2 degrees since 1880. And dangerous cold and snow are harmful for humans, but it can be even more serious for your pet. Just ask Fluffy the cat. Take a look. The 3-year-old outdoor cat had to be thawed out after becoming buried in snow last week, and Fluffy was found by her owners outside of their Montana home. She was quickly rushed to a nearby animal shelter where doctors struggled to raise her body temperature. Warm water, hair dryers, heated towels, and a heated kennel helped unthaw Fluffy. And her owners were not home when she became stuck in the snow, so it's unclear how it happened or how long she was stuck. Now she is expected to make a full recovery, but will be spending her time in the comfort of a warm house.
Yeah, happy to see that Fluffy is doing better this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. And a new study from Boston University says about 85% of American university students report backpack-related pain and discomfort.
Wow, that's definitely surprising. And today in our inaugural Health Minute, Alicia Bernarcha will be talking about ways to combat back pains. Alicia, good morning.
Good morning, guys. In this study, there are emerging trends between pain and time spent carrying backpacks. Study co-author Dr. Karen Jacobs suggested Ball State is about 5 weeks into the spring semester, and I'm sure that some students are starting to feel the pain of carrying their backpacks and sitting in long classes once again. So today I'm going to be giving tips on stretching your back through yoga poses. It is very important to remember, do not do this if it hurts. Now guys, yoga is great, and it's able to help prevent pain, but it's able to treat pain as well. So today we're going to be doing 3 movements of the spine. So first, guys, we're going to have our shoulders and our feet.
There we go.
Now
Shoulder width apart. Now move your arms forward, and you can go at the top of your knees or below your knees and feel that stretch in your lower back.
I'm feeling this one.
The second one.
Now this is certified, right? These are certified.
Yes, these are certified stretches. You'll move your hands up, you'll walk them up, place them on your lower back, tuck in your tummy, and arch your back until you feel a slight stretch. And the third one is pretty easy. Put your hand on your hip, and then raise your arm above your head until you feel a slight pull. With an inhale and then exhale, and you'll do that on the other side. So guys.
I think I need to work on the breathing.
Yeah.
I know. So just a quick question. What are some preventative tips to avoid back pain while sitting a lot during the day?
So try to get up and move. That is the easiest. And be aware of your posture while sitting for long times. And another thing, have your computer at eye level if you're going to be at a computer for a long time.
I know a lot of people have those standing desks.
Yes,
It really
those
gets
are very
people up and
helpful.
moving.
Yeah, and one other question that we do have, how heavy is too heavy for a backpack to weigh?
So a loaded backpack should not weigh more than 10% of your body.
Wow.
Teachers, are you listening?
Yeah.
You better be listening
So
to this
if
one.
your books are very heavy for your students, you maybe should not have your students buy those books.
Yeah,
Save the students a
that's
few
what I'm
dollars
saying.
and save them on back pain. So we'll be back next week for Health Minute.
All right,
I
Alicia,
see
thank
what
you
you
so
did
much.
there.
All right, in just a moment, we're taking you to Ball State's greenhouse as they get ready for an event just in time for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we've got that coming up after your weather now.
Welcome back. The current time is 8:13. You're taking a live look outside. That's the scramble light, as Tyler mentioned. It's the best scramble light right now. Meanwhile, back inside the Ball State Weather Center, we've got some wind chill advisories across the country. Nathan Gidley's at the weather wall for the latest.
Hey Tanner, how you doing this morning? It's certainly that back pain really helped me this morning, and people feeling a lot of cold out there this morning. Might maybe dealing with some of that back pain. But anyway, let's check out that cold front that just moved through the area yesterday, stretching down from New York down to Atlanta. That's really allowed these cold temperatures through the midsection of the country as we take a look out west as well. Lots going on in the west with another low pressure system there developing off the coast of San Francisco. So for your national currents, very cold conditions across the middle of the country. 16 degrees here in Muncie, minus 10 degrees in Minneapolis. And yeah, when you factor in that wind chill, very cold outside. In fact, it's breaking our color meter up there near Minneapolis. Minus 30 degrees, and as a result of these very cold wind chills, we do have a wind chill advisory in effect and wind chill warnings for those areas up there. As we take a look at the high temperatures, only 1 degree in Minneapolis, 19 in Kansas City, 32 in Denver. If you want the hot spot, head down to Miami Beach there, sitting at 75 degrees. So let's time out those wind chill warnings up here all the way through Bismarck, upper portions of the Midwest, as well as wind chill advisories. Looking back out east as this cold fronts move through, areas in the northeast dealing with some high wind warnings, as well as the flood warning continuing here in Muncie, as well as some lake effect snow. But the big action is when you're heading out west here. Check out, and there's still the wind chill warnings over there, but as we look over toward Seattle area, yeah, that's a winter storm warning for the lower elevations in Seattle. It's kind of rare to see a lot of snow there in Seattle, and that's going to make for a mess along the coast out west here as we time this out right now on Precision Cast. Look at that heavy snow there at 6 o'clock in Seattle. Quite the mess of travel throughout the day as we head into the day on Saturday. Here down all the way to down to San Francisco, the Pebble Beach Pro-Am is going to be quite the weather event there as well, dealing with a lot of rain. So that's your latest in national weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
All right, Nathan, thank you. Devastating flooding in northeast Australia has forced thousands of people from their homes, and it even brought snakes and crocodiles onto the street. And as authorities warn of strong winds and more rain is on the way. Much of the city of Townsville in the state of Queensland is flooded, with residents left without power and some forced to seek safety on the roofs of their homes, according to 7 News. Intense rain and Sunday forced authorities to open the floodgates on the Ross River Dam to relieve pressure and prevent a collapse. Now, this released thousands of gallons of water per second downriver. Hundreds of homes in Townsville have already been flooded, and there are fears that between 10,000 and 20,000 more could be at risk from the bad weather. The overwhelming downpours come as Australia is reeling from a record-breaking heat wave that affected all 8 of its states and territories.
Hey, there we go. We just had to get that camera in place there. Hey, one place on Ball State's campus that is getting into the Valentine's Day spirit early. Cardinal Weather's Michelle Kaufman found out about a special event planned for tomorrow.
Guys, we are here at the Renard Orchid Greenhouse, where tomorrow they planned a special Valentine's Day event for students, families, and really everyone in the community. And joining me now is curator and director of the greenhouse, Cheryl LeBlanc. So Cheryl, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Thanks for having us and being on the show.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about what's going to be going on tomorrow.
We're offering our second ever Valentine's program. It's for anybody who wants to come, families, students, friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, just friends. And we're having a little trivia contest where people get to learn a little bit about the greenhouse and explore at the same time.
That's awesome. And so is that what these heart cards right here are?
Yeah, we have 20 of those little cards scattered throughout the greenhouse, and we have 3 different rooms for people to find things in, and they're all designated with a little heart so people can find them a little more easily.
So really, if you're looking for an activity to do on Saturday, there's just so many ways to explore the greenhouse, and it's open to the whole community, not just Ball State. So why did you want to do the event again, and there was over 100 people last year?
We did have 100. Last year was our first time ever to offer a Valentine's program, and 100 people came, so we think it was a big hit, and we want to do it again.
That's awesome. And what hours are you guys open on Saturday?
Saturday we're open from 10 to 3, and during the week, if you want to come at any other time, we're open from 10 to 4:30.
Great. Well, thank you so much. So yeah, if you are looking for that Saturday activity, come right here on the campus of Ball State to the Renard Orchid Greenhouse. Back to you guys.
And all 3 sections of the greenhouse will be open for guests to explore. The greenhouse is home to over 2,000 orchids. What's an orchid? Can you explain that to me?
Isn't it just like where flowers are?
I honestly have no idea. Wait.
Oh, an orchid is a flower, but an orchard.
You guys didn't know that?
I'm honestly unsure. But anyway.
They're
telling us that's
and
2
orchid
different
are
things.
2 different things.
We're trying to get this together.
Apparently.
But anyway, hey, coming up in just a moment, one artist, she has dropped her new album. We'll tell you who that artist is. That's coming up after your Weather Now. And welcome back. Your time right now is 8:20. It's looking a little busy out there this morning at the Scramble Light as we are taking a live look right there at the Scramble Light. And now it's time for us to take a look at what is trending, Tanner.
Yeah, that's right. In the beauty community, Kate Grant, a benefits cosmetic model, is breaking headlines while spreading awareness for people with disabilities. Take a look at this. Grant, a 20-year-old Irish model with Down syndrome, has been impacting the beauty community by promoting the idea of self-love and confidence no matter what. In 2018, Grant met with a Benefits Cosmetics representative who absolutely fell in love with her and her representing the Benefits brand eyeliner collection, and Grant hopes to do more in the future.
Please do it. You want to appear on Loose Women, you want to appear on a cover of a magazine, I'm sure that'll happen. You want to raise awareness for people with disabilities, which you're doing tonight, which is brilliant. You're doing that now.
Kate Grant has already impacted the beauty world greatly and says she has a lot of big plans for an even larger impact this next year.
Yeah, I love that story there. It's definitely, you know, one of those feel-good stories that we always need.
I mean, it's something you never see. It's just fresh. It's a fresh new idea in the beauty community. Pretty great there.
Yeah, it's very unique.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
I'm not a makeup wearer, so I guess I can't.
Well, Tanner is.
I know. That's it. Tanner's.
Yeah, he just started recently. Gabe and I, we like to go all natural.
That's right.
But speaking of natural, moving on to something a little more lighthearted and sweeter, or should I say, sweetener. For all of you Ariana Grande lovers like me, you are in for a treat because Ariana Grande's new album, Thank You Next, well, it dropped this morning, 6 months after the release of the previous album, Sweetener. Fans, they've been highly anticipating the pop star's next album. The album consists of 12 tracks, including her title track, Thank You Next, and Imagine, as well as 7 Rings. Grande's album was released digitally and is in stores today and will be available on vinyl records on May 10th.
Yeah,
you can't tell Tyler's psyched about this.
I love Ariana Grande. I love her new song, 7 Rings.
She has been busy.
Yeah, she has been busy.
Yeah, very, very busy. All right, anyway, Girl Scout cookie season is upon us. Yum, I can't wait. Thin Mints, please. And what better way for the troops to get going than with a little money? A 10-year-old Kiki tweeted out her own version of Cardi B's hit, Money. Take a listen.
Thin Mints are the best. Savannah smiles delish. Pussy doughs and chocolate bliss. Tag as long as divine. Fantastic blows my mind. Hey, that really rhymes. Money. On my shirt, pulling need is money. Selling cookies to get some money. Please, real nut Monopoly.
Yeah, that's cute.
I think I just got caught dancing on air.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, big Cardi B fan, and also seeing that video, I just want to buy cookies now.
Me too. You know, Thin Mints, Samoas, let's go.
I was going to say, honestly, all I've ever really had, I feel like, are the Thin Mints. I don't know if I've ever had Samoa. Which one are the Samoas?
I have no idea.
Aren't those the chocolate ones?
The chocolate ones.
I don't know. Gabe, what are your favorite cookies?
I got to go with Thin Mints, too. I like the chocolate mint combination. Oreos, Thin
There's a
Mints.
cool taste in your
definitely.
mouth. Speaking of cool things, it's cold outside.
Wow, what a transition.
Yeah, hopefully the weather's going to be money as well.
Well, yeah, it is going to be cool over today. A big contrast to what we've experienced the past couple of days where we had temperatures in the 50s. Now we're sitting in the teens overall, though we still have a few remaining snow showers across the area this morning. Nothing really impacting your commute in any way, but just something that reminds you it really is February and winter out there this morning. This will definitely remind you that it's winter out there. Temperatures in the teens across the area, 16 in Muncie, 14 in Fort Wayne, barely in the double digits in Champaign at 11 degrees. And when you factor in those temperature changes, we're over 30 degrees warmer, or cooler, should I say, in Indianapolis than we were this time yesterday. So a big temperature change. You can really feel the effects of that cold front today, and that's also reflected in the wind chills where we're barely above zero, but only at -6 in Marion is what it feels like there this morning. Temperatures won't warm all that much today. Clearing skies overall as we start to see that weather system make its way out of here, up to 21 degrees. Gusty winds, though, sticking around, even though that wind advisory has been dropped. Through the evening tonight, temperatures staying in the teens. Again, temperatures not moving all that much as we make our way through the day. Though by this evening, we should have some clear skies out there, and northwest winds still sticking around for the most part. This weekend, though, temperatures warming up a bit, 28 degrees tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, before it really feels like winter on Sunday, up to 34, and some snow moves into the area in the later part of the day. And this could cause some tricky travel conditions on Sunday. So let's time that out. Here's a look in Sunday afternoon. We start to see that snow move into the area, but as the day progresses on Sunday, we see this freezing line work its way to the north. And if we see that waver just a bit, that'll really affect how much snow we see. This is the American model for the most part, bringing in some rain and maybe even some freezing rain into the area by Monday afternoon. So that's something we're watching closely as well before transitioning to all rain later into the day on Monday. This is the European solution that brings in some snow showers a little bit earlier into the day on Sunday, but the freezing rain moves in a little bit earlier. So that could cause some really slick conditions during the day on Sunday. That's something you're going to want to keep in mind. This system, though, tracking it out earlier into the day by Monday. So your Monday morning commute could be a little tricky. That's something we're watching carefully. And really on the 7-day, this whole period beginning Sunday and lasting in through midday on Tuesday is going to just be a tricky travel situation where we could have some slick conditions through those days. Temperatures in the mid-30s, though, warming up to 45 by Tuesday before temperatures drop back down into the 30s for the latter half of the week, although we will see some clearing conditions before some possible rain-snow mix moves into the area on Friday.
All right, Gabe, thank you so much. Just ahead, we are breaking down the science behind the winter phenomenon known as frostquakes.
Interesting. All right, but that's all after your weather now. All right, welcome back to Waking Up with Cardinal Weather. Currently 8:27, and it is pretty windy. As you can see, that camera shaking right there. But meanwhile, back inside the Ball State Weather Center, we're getting ready to break down the science of frostquakes. Good morning, Hannah.
Welcome back. Today we are going to be breaking down frostquakes. Now, frostquakes are that rare phenomenon that people have been hearing and feeling around the area the past few weeks. So there are three things that have to occur for frostquakes to happen. The first thing is that we need snowmelt or rainfall to have saturated the ground. Secondly, we need there to be very little to no snow, because if we do have a blanket of snow, that is going to help prevent the ground from seeing rapid temperature changes. Thirdly, we need there to have been a rapid change in temperature, dropping below freezing. That will help freeze the earth. So now that we have these three things, how do frostquakes occur? Well, first, once the ground is frozen, the water underneath the ground is going to begin to freeze. And once it begins to freeze, water is going to expand. And it's going to keep expanding to eventually building up pressure. And this pressure is going to keep building up until eventually there's going to cause a crack. And this crack is going to cause a booming sound or even a jolting quake, which most people think are earthquakes, but really they are frost quakes. Now, frost quakes are very rare, but they have been happening more often than previous years. Guys, back to you.
Hannah, thank you so much. Let's get one final check of the weather. As it is very cold outside, you're going to want to bundle up this morning.
Yeah, winter's definitely back in full force over the next few days. Temperatures in the 30s overall through the weekend, and some snow moves into the area late in the day on Sunday. That's something we're watching carefully, as that period between Sunday afternoon and through Tuesday around midday could have some tricky travel situations with a mix of snow, sleet, ice, rain. We have it all in those few days before we start to see things clear out in the second half of the week.
All right, Gabe, thank you so much. And that's all for Cardinal Weather this Friday morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, we hope to see you next week. Have a great rest of your Friday and a fantastic weekend.